7 things Americans do that Brits don't. Very interested to see what we got with this, to see what kind of things you Americans are doing. Before we do, appreciate if you guys can now subscribe on. Let's see what we got.
Hello, I have been having a bit of fun with ChatGPT, and today I asked it to name 7 things that Americans do that British people don't.
Right.
And as a British person who has lived in America for 17 years, I'm going to go through this list with you and tell you the degree to which it's accurate. Why?
Okay.
Because uncovering memos that Britain and America lost in the pond is what I do on this channel. And
Yo, that might be actually fun to do. Like, yo, let me know in the comments what kind of things I should ask. Like ChatGPT or something, and I'll go through the list, and then you guys could comment if it's true or whatnot, and we could just have a big debate in there.
If you've not yet subscribed, do that now.
That'd be interesting.
In the meantime, here's
fun.
what ChatGPT came up with. And the first thing on the list is pledge allegiance to the flag in school. This is not something that I ever did when I went to school in the UK.
No.
I'm trying to think of the nearest thing to that. I suppose we sometimes sang the national anthem. No, I don't remember doing that.
No, we didn't do that.
I don't think we're that patriotic in school.
The only thing that we do in the UK is like an assembly. I don't know if you guys did it, but like we had an assembly, like pretty much, was it every morning? I don't know. I can't even remember what happened there. But like the school got together and they kind of just spoke. I don't know what they really spoke about. It was like updates. I don't know. It's not really anything patriotic. I don't know. It's just something that we did at school that maybe you guys don't do in America. I have no clue. But like pretty much the whole entire year of that school, we'll go in one big room. The teachers would stand up in front and they would, I don't know, it was just, I was mainly speaking to my friends during that time. I don't know what it was all about.
Whereas in America, they are. Now, I moved here at the age of 26, so I never went to school in America, but this is something that I've heard from people, is that you do indeed pledge allegiance to the flag. What does that mean, Lawrence?
Okay.
Well, it basically means that you prove your loyalty to the United States just by saying some words. How do I know that? Because
wait, are these the words? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Wait, did I just pledge? Hey, it's like I've just pledged to America. I'm not upset about that at all. But did every single person have to do this? Like, could anyone like opt out of it, or was it like you had to do this?
Your loyalty to the United States just by saying some words. How do I know that? Because I myself did pledge allegiance to the flag when I became a United States citizen. In fact, now I think about it, that might have been the only time I was required to do so. Why do Americans do this? Well, there is a sort of ingrained national pride within this young country that broke away from my country. I think that that pride, that sense of patriotism, it shows itself in many different ways, and it isn't just aligned to one political party. I've seen American flags on the porches of people in rural Indiana just as much as I have here in Chicago.
Wait, this might be interesting to you guys. This just shows how how non-patriotic the UK is, right? So I was speaking to my family, and I don't know how true this is, by the way. So I don't know if you guys want to fact check. I did no research. I was just speaking to my family. It was literally yesterday. And they brought up saying, because we was talking about, I can't remember what we was talking about, but they brought up saying that in the UK, if you show the English flag, it's now like not allowed. I don't know if it's is that a crime, but it could be, but it's not allowed to like display the English flag. You have to display the Union Jack. The Union Jack is this flag. The English flag is the red and the white. I don't know in what context you're not allowed to show it. Now that I've said it out loud to you guys, it don't sound right, and I didn't think it sounded right anyway, but I don't know. They believe that it's true from somewhere, so I don't. Honestly, it won't surprise me, bro, because it's apparently like seen as like, for people that showing it is seen as racism or something like. I don't know.
I don't have a problem with that, even though I don't personally wave flags, and those flags behind me aren't flags. They're bags that happen to have flags on them. The second thing that ChatGPT came up with is that Americans are more likely to drive automatic cars than British people who...
I have an automatic car, and honestly, it's the best thing I've ever purchased in my life. Listen, you guys are doing it right in America, automatic, bro. Like stick, you guys call it stick or shift, right? We just call it gear stick. But gear stick It's like, I understand if you like it, if you're more into cars and like you like to like, you know, more, you got that control, you know what I'm saying? You can feel it, you can do whatever you want with it, right? But like, automatic is just so easy. You just sit back, relaxing, and you just drive.
Who prefer to use manual. This is true. Growing up, most of the cars that my dad had the gear stick, and I noticed after I moved here that was a far less common feature of cars. In fact, sometimes I've had conversations with Americans who see driving a stick, as they call it, being something they prefer not to do given the choice. Now, I'm no car expert, but it seems that there are a number of valid reasons that Britain does manual and America does automatic. In America, you've got longer distances to travel, generally speaking, so it's nice to just have that kind of convenient transmission.
I'll tell you something right now. And this is the thing with gears and automatic. Ever since I've had my automatic car, I don't mind. Like it was a pain driving around in my car. I hate, like I've told you guys before, I hate driving. But ever since I've got my automatic car, like, I'd still rather not drive. I'd just prefer to stay in my room. But I enjoy it a bit more. It's like a little bit more like relaxing, chill. Because all you got to do is you put your foot down and just steer. Whereas before you got to do a whole load of other business, you know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, automatic, I definitely do enjoy it more than gears.
And there's a perception here that there's a higher frequency of traffic lights / stoplights. And so driving manual would be a pain in the arse. And historically, manual cars in Britain are cheaper. They were more fuel efficient, which is important in Britain where the cost of fuel is greatly higher than it is in the United States.
Look at that. Look at that. $3.48 in America, $7.38 in the UK. We're getting scammed, mate. We're getting scammed.
You know, as a Brit living in America, I've had to adapt to many things. The time difference, spelling colour without a U, and most recently, drinking coffee that's so cold it could legally be considered an Arctic beverage.
I love
but I'm not
iced
just talking about the
coffee.
sad, neglected cup that you left in the microwave for 3 hours. I'm talking about real cold brew, the kind you can actually look forward to in the morning. And thanks to Trade Coffee, I can now make it at home without spending a small fortune at cafe.
I was thinking where we go with this, man, because we got coffee in the UK, but it's a sponsor. Okay, listen, he knows how to do, like, go into these segments really easily.
Of this channel will know that the most nice was seen.
Is this still Trade?
Where
we at?
The history and judges. The link is in the description below. Number 3, eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Okay, if you guys have been in my streams at all, twitch.tv/Alfred you guys will know that I am hooked on PB&Js. Ever since I did that YouTube video, it's on my channel, by the way, where I made a PB&J. Ever since then, I've lost count of how many I've had. Bro, they are so... Like, I like peanut butter. I like jelly. Together, even better. Oh, they're so good. They're so good.
Long-term fans of this channel will know that I myself have tried a peanut butter and jelly sandwich on camera in what was possibly the most controversial moment in this channel's history, because I took it upon myself to use the only bread that I had in the house to make this sandwich, and that bread was sourdough. This was seen as a big no-no among the sandwich eating community.
Right, I've not had sourdough with PB&J. I've just had like normal bread and I just toast it. I prefer toasted PB&J. But yeah, sourdough is nice. Yeah, I don't know with a PB&J. I might try it. Just see.
Is the United States of America, and I got into big trouble for doing that.
Oh, really?
But basically, a peanut butter and jelly sandwich is exactly as it sounds. Except jelly, I should clarify for my British viewers, jelly. Is not jello, as Americans would call it, the wobbly It's something that closely resembles jam. Do I like it? Good. Well, I do now, but it took me a while to come to terms with that fact, because I think when I first moved here, I'd never had peanut butter. We just don't have it in great abundance in the UK. And so...
That is true. That is true. And I know he's been in America for a while. The UK is catching up with peanut butter, though. Like, it's nowhere near America. A lot of people will not have peanut butter. But we are getting like peanut butter flavor things, so like in our chocolates and stuff like that, and people are getting used to it. I feel like it's gonna get better, but I don't see why not, because it's so good. Like, it really is.
This was something that was introduced to me only after I moved to America.
It's so
and it took me a while to say to myself, yes, I prefer this over regular butter. It is fair to say that they're not really comparable anyway, because I think that regular butter isn't protein based. And so I did actually come to find, especially times when I didn't have much money, that it...
Wait, yeah, isn't peanut butter actually good for you? So a PBJ sandwich is healthy, right? Is it, or should we just keep telling ourselves that? I don't know. But peanut butter is good for you, right?
Made for a very quick, easy meal. Sometimes I wouldn't even put the jelly on it. I would just have peanut butter on bread. It's very dry, and I wouldn't recommend it. I'll tell you who does love peanut butter, though. My dog, Heidi. Who's Heidi?
Oh, yeah. I've got, for my dog, I've got, like, the dog peanut butter. And he loves it. He absolutely loves it.
You probably think it's my new dog. It's Arthur's new sister.
A lot of American dog owners use peanut butter in order to get their pets to consume medicine. Heidi has just been spayed, so she's on gabapentin. And I'm not really sure she knows it, because she's just excited about that.
Number 4. Americans call the ground floor the first floor. Why do they do that?
Okay, yeah.
Well, when you stop and think about it, I mean, it makes a lot of sense. What we call the ground floor...
See, I actually agree with America on this, the ground floor being the first floor. I think we should just scrap the ground floor in the UK, because, like, if someone says to me I'm on the first floor, automatically I forget about the ground floor and I think that's just the standard floor. And actually, I've been to places, especially in like Spain and stuff, where I've genuinely got confused where they're at. Like, they said I'm on floor 1. I'm like, okay, is this the ground floor, the first floor? Where we at, bro? So I think we should petition to scrap the ground floor. Get rid of ground and just go 1, 2, 3, 4. You know what I mean?
In the UK is also the first floor. It's the first floor you enter as you walk in. It just happens to be on the ground. This is one of those situations where I think both Brits and Americans are correct. Except in Britain, when you get to what Americans refer to as the second floor, we refer to that as the first floor. I suppose it is.
Yeah, the opposite. So the second floor for America is our first floor. Yeah, that's weird. That's weird, but technically it's what... it's weird.
First floor that you get to in the elevator. I might be trying to justify British logic. I can't justify it now. Does it make sense? You can answer this in the comments. Does
I actually don't like it in the UK.
The next floor up is floor 2 or floor 1. Number 5, watch ads for prescription drugs.
Yeah.
I come from a country where the advertisement
you don't see that.
of prescription-only drugs is actually illegal, so you never see those
you
on
don't
television.
See it out. And you also don't see lawyer adverts either. In fact, the weirdest, like, in terms of, like, adverts I've seen in the UK that isn't, like, for products and that, it was actually the other day. It was an advert for warranty. Oh, wait, never mind. That wasn't a UK one. That was a Canadian one. Yeah, I watch the Canadian commercials. Wait, yeah, no, I don't think I've seen any. Like, normally adverts in the UK is just for products.
In fact, from memory, the only real ads I can remember that were for medicines of any kind were usually for things like headache medicine. What we're talking about is all kinds of drugs, you know, not class A, but medical drugs that your doctor will prescribe. Now, this isn't something that Americans love to do. It's not like we go, ooh, get the popcorn, because...
I got a question. You know, in places in America where weed is legal, not illegal. So places in America where weed is legal, do you have adverts there, commercials for like the weed companies? Is that a thing? If so, I need to see one.
They're pushing Ozempic on us again. I think we've become desensitized to them in this country because they're so pervasive. We just sort of take it for granted. I, for one, switch off while they're playing. I don't even take it in until they get to the part where they have to warn you of the side effects. I don't know if some law changed recently, but can you remember how they used to speed it up? Because, you know, it's like, we don't really want people to know that this drug can harm.
Oh, wait, yeah. So I've actually seen some American commercials, yeah. And it's like, oh, yeah, so this is really good for you for so-and-so, but it might cause, and then when they say it might cause, it goes, and you might end up very in hospital.
I mean, let's get through that as quickly as possible. Recently, I've noticed that those ads, they have to say them at the same speed that they're doing the rest of the ad. And it completely derails the momentum of the entire ad. And I love that. It's my favorite thing. In fact, I think next time that happens, I really will get the popcorn out. Number 6.
Is that a new law then? They've changed it so they have to say it at the same speed.
And perhaps a reason that Americans get pushed so many healthcare related things. Americans deep fry everything at the fair. Now, I've not been to a fair in Britain in many years, so I can't really...
Yo, deep frying everything just makes everything better. Listen, so you got food that you like anyway, and then all you're doing is just making it more crunchier. You're just making it better.
Really remember if this is something that happens there or not, and whether or not ChatGPT is lying. All I can remember about fairs in the UK is the abundance of candy floss, or cotton candy as it's known here. But at American fairs,
we have a lot of candy floss in our fairs. We have a lot of like hot dog stands or whatever, burgers. And we also have a lot of them. I don't know if you have them in America, but it's like toffee apple, we call them. So it's like an apple with toffee all around it, like hard candy, pretty much. And it's hard enough to break your teeth. Like, they're really bad. I wouldn't have them anymore. I did when I was a kid, but no way. I'm in it now, because I would chip my tooth, bro.
Or a floss, or a cotton candy as it's known here. But at American fairs, whether it's a state fair or a county fair, you have things like corn dogs, at least you do here in the Midwest, which is basically a hot dog on a stick that's covered in fried cornmeal batter. You have elephant...
Did his light just fall and smash?
Dog on a stick that's covered in fried cornmeal batter. You have...
What? Is that an edit, or is that actually something that just smashed? Yo, Lawrence, what's going on?
You have elephant ears, which are not genuine elephant ears, right? Which is basically...
What just
have elephant ears, which are not genuine elephant ears, right? Which is basically fried elephant ear on a stick that's covered in fried cornmeal batter.
I'm so confused if that's real or not.
You have elephant ears, which are not genuine elephant ears.
I thought they were.
Which is basically fried dough, and just lots of stuff like that. And I don't personally mind it. You know, it's obviously a one-off occasion. It's not that you're going to do this every day. The thing is, these fairs tend to take place during summer months. And when it's really hot outside, I don't want something that's deep fried. I want something that's like refreshing, like a bloody apple. They'll probably deep fry those next. Have they? They have, right.
They probably
have. I just did a little bit of research because I was curious.
Wait, yeah, let me know in the comments. What's the, what you would think would be the strangest thing for me, as in you've had this deep fried. So what's the strangest things you've ever had deep fried in America? Let me know.
Having not had a memory of this. In Britain, it appears that we do deep fried foods at fairs as well. And ChatGPT is clearly not entirely to be trusted. However, I will say this. It appears that the deep fried options at American fairs are more abundant and more extravagant, it seems, than those...
Wait, what deep fried food do we have in the UK in our fairs?
At UK fairs, where there seems to be a greater emphasis on other American foods.
Right, like we have burgers and hot dogs.
And finally, red soda.
Wait, no, I need to see. Hold on, I'm going to search for you guys. What deep fried food is at UK fairs? Okay. So apparently, battered sausage, sure. Burgers and hot dogs. But that's not like deep fried, like battered fried. Oh, onion rings and french fries. Okay, yeah. It's not like the list that you guys get in America.
Solo cups. I've seen variations of this observation online that basically says, ooh, in American films, when people are at parties, they always have these red plastic cups. I think the understanding among British people and people from countries that aren't America is that this thing is kind of like the, 555 area codes that are used.
You know what? I don't know why. I've actually got some somewhere. Where are they? I don't have any up here, but they're in the other room. You guys sent me them. But I don't know why. Like, I do see them in stores now, but it's still not like a proper thing yet. I actually need to get more. Because for parties in the UK, there's always a glass being smashed. Because everybody's using glasses, right? This makes so much sense. Like, why don't we do this? Why isn't this like the most common thing to do? Red Solo cups. Or we could have any Solo cups, right? You know what I'm saying? But, like, everybody's drinking from them. They're not smashing the glasses. every party, a glass gets smashed.
Used in films, but not in real life. The truth is, Americans use red Solo cups in real life, and this has been something that's caused a lot of amazement, astonishment among British people. I don't really get it. This isn't something that I lost sleep over when I lived in Britain and then moved to America. Partly because I don't think I even made that observation.
No, but it does make sense though. Like, you just get advantages out of it. Like the main reason is so that we don't smash glasses in the UK. You know what I'm saying? That's probably the biggest reason.
They're just cups to me. But I think the thing is, when I'd go to parties in Britain, we'd usually drink out of whatever glass we could find that was clean, or just straight out of the bottle. I didn't think much of it, really. You know, it's not like all Americans just have these red plastic Solo cups on hand at any given moment. I mean, we don't. At least I thought we didn't. And then I found out that my wife, Tara, was storing some up in this cupboard for when family turns up. So since I no longer drink alcohol, I might as well get the doggies a drink. Of water, not vodka. In the meantime, here are the 7 most...
Hey, really good vid though. Love seeing the differences between America and the UK. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. If you guys enjoyed, make sure you leave a thumbs up, subscribe for more content. Live every single day on twitch.tv/L3WG. If you guys want to check me out over there, I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.